just a couple minutes late here. We were having our Monday Zoom meeting, and we got on a fascinating topic that I just couldn't stop talking about. Okay, so I need to use the restroom, and then I will be right back. So gather your things. If you need to use the bathroom, use your bathroom. Okay, sorry for the nothing that was just happening. So for those of you who were talking with me a moment ago on the Zoom meeting, and I was bringing up this thing that had happened to me about reading an article, or I watched a video actually about the potentially injurious effects of a certain cue that was a yoga cue that I kind of have stood by for a decade now, and the impact of that on my thinking, and the impact that will inevitably have on my teaching. And then one of the members of the meeting was saying that he had a lot of experience with this kind of thinking, and he brought up another cue that may be potentially injurious, or based not on a lot of solid anatomy fact. So anyway, he was saying that this came up in a workshop that he was taking, and that all of the teachers in the workshop, when this cue came into question, it was actually a cue of like having your knee over your ankle in a lunge or in Warrior Two, which is another cue that I have stood by for a decade, as potentially being not, again, a potentially injurious cue. But anyway, so the impact of that is like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this wrong, or I've been leading people astray, I've been hurting people, this disrupts my worldview. How can I move forward from this point? And I think that's a pretty common reaction to change in general, or our viewpoints being questioned, or even shown as being injurious to other people or ourselves. And I think that's a very common theme in the world right now. And but also I think that we are in a place where hopefully the challenges of quarantine and the challenges of this global pandemic potentially have put us in a place where we can recognize more our adaptability, and that things can change, our lives can change in an instant, and that's frightening, certainly. It's disorienting, but we can move forward and find new ways. So anyway, briefly summing up some of the things I'm thinking about today, and hopefully these will all come into practice on our mats. So let's start in a comfortable seated position. Cross your legs at the ankles. Close your eyes. Settle down through your legs and hips. Grow tall along your spine. Place your hands on your thighs. And approach this moment with a beginner's mind. As many times as you might have come here before, recognize that the person you are now, the world around you, is a new place, different than it's ever been before. Arrive in this moment with your body, with your breath. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, lengthening the sides of the body. Loop your shoulder blades together, broaden your chest. Settle down through the tailbone, lengthen up through the crown of the head, creating a long spine, an open heart. Tilt your chin parallel to the floor to actively lengthen the back of the neck. Soften the face. And consider that there might be some value in routine. There might be some value in doing things a particular way. And that value might be if you are establishing a home practice, or if you have done this, taken this seat in a class, in a studio setting before, that this might, taking these steps might automatically come with this, this awareness to breath, this deeper awareness of the body. But the flip side of that, the opposite side of the coin, might be that by doing things the exact same way every single time, that we become less adaptable, less, there might be less dynamic to our poses, less awareness as a result of that familiarity. Might be a switch to the autopilot, the mode. Engage your Ujjayi pranayama, breath practice, drawing in a gentle contraction at the back of your throat. Filling the lungs from bottom to top, emptying the lungs from top to bottom. And today we'll do the channel cleansing breath, or Nadi Shodhana. So if you will, open your eyes. If you haven't done this before, you're going to take your right hand, palm face up, pointer, index finger, and middle finger to the base of the thumb, like so. It's hard to see. And then the thumb will come to the top of the right nostril. the ring finger and pinky finger will come to the top of the left nostril. And we're just going to put a very gentle pressure to shift the passage of air from one nostril to the other. So press down gently on the left. Inhale, perhaps still engaging the Ujjayi pranayama in through the right nostril. Gaze can be closed or at the tip of your nose. Exhale, gentle pressure on the right nostril as you exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Do 2 more rounds of Nadi Shodhana, channel cleansing breath with your own breath pace. Conclude the next round with an exhale through the right nostril. And as you have completed that round, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Press your palms in, widen your elbows out, broaden your collarbones. We will chant Om together 3 times before beginning the moving practice. Exhale and inhale for Om. Bow your head to your heart, release your palms to your thighs, then slowly lift your head as you open your eyes. Okay. Take your left hand behind your hip, cross your right hand to your left thigh, turn the palm to face up. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale. Begin to revolve. Shift the abdomen from right to left, starting the revolution with the lower spine. So use the muscles of the abdomen to revolve from right to left, and then you can start to push pressure of the hand against the left thigh to move the revolution up the spine, along the shoulders, keeping the collarbones broad. Keep your chin parallel to the floor and start to gaze over the left shoulder. Soften the edges of the mouth. Breathe space along the spine. Turn the gaze inward. Notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling. And let's again take pressure out of the right hand as the left arm extends up along the left ear. Reach up out of the left waistline and then lean the upper body at an angle over the right thigh, keeping the left hip rooting down. Use the lower ribs to revolve the bottom ribs forward, the right shoulder forward. You might even gaze up beyond the left tricep muscles. Reach length along the left side. And then if you'd like, bring the hand back to the thigh. Pressure of hand into the thigh to even further revolve the bottom ribs forward, taking the gaze up. Soften the edges of the mouth, relax the face. Breathe along the left side body. Inhale, come back to center, hand to the mat, to the floor. Right hand behind the hip. Turn the left palm up. Without too much pressure of the hand against the right thigh, begin to revolve. Left to right, bottom to top, inside to outside, starting with the strength of the abdominal muscles to revolve the lower abdomen, to revolve the lower body, excuse me. And then you might put pressure of the left hand against the thigh to open up the chest. Broad across the collarbones, gaze towards the back wall, chin parallel to the earth. You may notice if your eyes are open or closed. Both are acceptable. Just notice your tendencies today. Notice what kind of energy you're coming to the mat with. Again, pressure off of the thigh. Right arm along the right ear. Reach up out of the right waistline and exhale. Lean the upper body at an angle over the left thigh. Use the strength of the abdomen to revolve the left ribs, left shoulder forward. Gaze goes up. Awareness along the right side body. Breathe awareness, breathe space. And then hand can come to the thigh to help draw the bottom shoulder forward if you like. Again, notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling. Send attention down into those areas most affected by the shape. Inhale, return to center, and we are going to come forward to the tops of our mats in a tabletop shape. Plant your wrists below your shoulders, knees are hip width, and let's resume our cat and cows. As you inhale next, belly and chest down, tailbone and gaze lift. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, tailbone towards the floor, belly button towards the ceiling. Let's inhale in cat, inflating the space behind the heart, and then exhale to cow. So we're going to switch up the breath today. Exhale will bring us to cow. Inhale, moving into cat. And you might recognize the slight perspective shift. So how does it change your experience of this sequence by switching the synchronization of breath? For me, one suggestion, this might be true for you, it might not, but it helps me to think about the upper back as I move with this breath pattern, because the upper back is expanding with the inhale as I push into cat pose, and then the upper back is contracting with the exhale as I move into cow. And back to a neutral spine. Extend your right leg straight up and back, knee and toes point down. Hips at an even height. Left arm reaches forward. Look forward, reach forward. Tone the back leg. Remember that concept of JUN-15 or knee lock, engaging all the muscles around the right kneecap to pull the thigh bone, or to pull the quadricep muscles in and up. And in the middle, find some stability. Lower ribs in and back, tailbone reaches back, heart and gaze reach forward. And then point the right toes, bend the right knee, reach back for the inside of the right foot with the left hand, and then slowly begin to kick the foot into the hand. So again, notice the activation of the right foot. So kick the foot into the hand. As you kick, then start to lift the thigh. Allow the left shoulder to be pulled back with that action. So foot is active, 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 pushing into the hand. And as the hand is pushed, the shoulder is pulled. Both the cats are outside now. I don't know if you can see them. Okay, foot, knee down, hand down, second side. Left leg extends straight up and back, knee and toes point down. Again, establish that JUN-15. Toes point down, toenails draw forward. Kneecap lifts, quad draws in and up. Right arm forward. Gaze forward, reach forward. Stability, groundedness, rootedness in the past. The left leg strongly reaching back. In the middle, in the present, there's stability, lower ribs in and back. And there's a striving, a curiosity about what is to come. Arm and gaze reaching forward. Point the left toes, bend the left knee, reach back with the right hand for the foot. Kick the foot into the hand. Again, emphasis on kicking the foot into the hand. Kick the foot into the hand and then begin to lift the thigh away from the floor. Let the pressure of the kick pull the right shoulder back. Right arm is pulled taut like the string of your crossbow. And then knee down, hand down. Walk the knees back about 6 to 8 inches. Shoulders over the wrists, tuck the toes, tilt the tailbone up as though you're doing cow pose in the low back. Exhale, bend the elbows back, lower chin and chest down. Slide forward and press the feet down as you curl up into cobra pose. Hands press down and pull back, collarbones broad, elbows in and elbows down. Shoulder blades on the back, shoulder blades down the back. Use the strength of the back body to lift. Press your feet strongly into the floor. So again, JUN-15, quads in and up, kneecaps lifted. And then as you exhale, lower back to the floor, chin on the mat. Tuck the toes, engage the legs. So kneecaps lift, thigh bones lift. Lengthen back through the tailbone, draw your lower abdomen in and up, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale and push. Plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Push the hands down and forward. Shift the hips up and back. Take this opportunity to get acquainted with your dog. Pedal the feet side to side. Sway the hips. Open up the back sides of your legs. Get acquainted with the back of each leg. As the back of the leg lengthens, as the heel melts down, hip reaches up and back, try to engage the front of the leg. Again, JUN-15, the kneecap of the straightened leg lifts. And let's come back into a neutral dog. Hands down and forward, hips shift up and back. Inhale, shoulders over wrist, plank position. Exhale, let's lower down into chaturanga like the bottom of a push-up. Inhale, push up, lifting through the sides of the waistline. Exhale, hips lead you back. That's our first push-up. Let's do 4 more first set. Inhale forward. This can be done on your knees. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 2. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 3. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back 4. Last one, first set. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts straight up and back. Knee and toes point down. Hands push down and forward. Hips reach up and back. And then look to the top of your mat. Exhale and lunge your left foot between your hands. So the question is, do you align your knee over your ankle? What happens if you do? What happens if you don't? So my answer today is I feel the most in my hips and in my back leg if my front thigh is parallel to the floor. So I'm going to stick with it today. I'm going to explore that cueing more, question everything. So come to your lunge with any amount of bend in the front knee that you want to experiment with today. Hands on fingertips, fists, or blocks on either side of your front foot. Look forward, collarbones broad. Back leg engaged, awareness in the back leg as you reach back with the heel, forward with the heart. Feet on the floor and scissor the legs strongly in today. So let's engage the legs. Pull them in. And likely as you pull them in, there might be a little bit of shaking happening. I know that's happening for me, that's why I mentioned it. And from here, we're going to, let's try inhaling to push the hips back. What does that feel like? Straighten the left leg. Again, inhale to open the back of the body, whereas we usually inhale to open the front of the body. And then we're going to exhale, melt the hips down and forward into lunge. Inhale, straighten the left leg, round the spine. Exhale into lunge. Continue to explore these two shapes with the breath. And it may be difficult to synchronize the breath in this new way. But for me what helps is to think of ways that this does make sense. So exhale for me is like there's this melting, releasing of the hips forward. Inhale, the hips draw back and the spine rounds, making space between the vertebrae along the back side of the body. Okay, come back to the lunge. Right hand grounds onto the floor or a block. Left hand, let's keep it out. Let's not put it to the thigh today. We're going to engage legs, scissor them in, and then revolve the right ribs towards the left inner thigh. Stack the shoulders, sweep the left arm up. Lift through the back inner thigh, broaden across the chest, look up, reach up. And either choose to stay here or start to revolve the bottom ribs skyward, top ribs earthward, sides of the neck back, tops of the ears back. Soften the edges of your mouth, embrace the sky. And then look down, hand down, press back, downward facing dog, and we'll do the second side. Inhale to lift the right leg straight up and back. Look to the top of your mat, and exhale, lunge your right foot forward. So create a long stride. Again, question everything. Do you want the knee over the ankle? If that is an injurious position to some place in your body, you might back off a little bit. And I will note that this was not the pose where the knee over the ankle was in question. Okay, there was actually warrior two. So in your lunge, melt the hips down and forward, right thigh parallel to the floor, lift through the back inner thigh. Open the chest forward, scissor the legs in. So tone towards the middle. Feel the activation of the legs. Can you squeeze in so much that you make a fold in the middle of your mat? Can you? And then inhale, send the hips back. Round the spine, chin to chest, keep the right big toe ball mound grounded. Exhale, come forward, melt the hips down and forward. Inhale, round the back body. Exhale, bring it forward. And continue these movements with your own breath. And you might go back into what you're used to. Take note and try again. Reframe the poses. Come back to a lunge, left palm to the floor, right hand sweeps to the sky as you revolve the left ribs towards the right inner thigh, stack the shoulders, use the abdominal muscles, scissor the legs in, look up if you'd like, open up, bottom rib skyward, top ribs earthward, embrace the sky, and then look down, hand down, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, this time lower down like a push-up. Inhale, curl over the toes, push the hands down and pull them back. Push the feet down, engage the legs, upward facing dog. And then roll over the toes, hips shift up and back, downward facing dog. That could also be done as a cobra pose, your choice of that flow. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, hips lead you back one. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back two. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back three. Two more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale completely. Exhale slowly. Inhale. And exhale. Last biggest breath in. And exhale, let it out. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips lead you up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat, bend your knees, lift through the sides of the waistline, shift the shoulders forward, more weight in the hands, look to the space between your hands. And as you exhale next, land your feet between your hands at the top of your mat. Okay, 4 more times. Hopper step back. Downward facing dog, ground through the knuckles, look between the hands, shift the shoulders forward. Exhale, pull the belly button in towards the spine. And arrive at the top of your mat. If you'd like, if it's available, just hop right up there into a handstand. Okay, 3 more. Okay, last one, best one. Shift forward, bend the knees, lift through the sides of the waistline. Look where you're going, land silently. At the top of your mat in a forward fold. Take your feet hip width distance apart, lift and spread your toes, and place the toes back down. Create a wide base with your feet, bend your knees, rest your torso on your thighs, and let your upper body hang forward. Take hold of opposite wrists, forearms, or biceps. Make subtle movements to encourage the release of your upper body. Shift side to side, shake the head yes and no. Shift weight left and right, forward and back. It's from the inside of the foot to the outside of each foot. Reconnect with your breath, reconnect with your back body as you turn inward.
Fingertips to the floor in front of you. Press your feet down. Lift your hips up as you lengthen along the backs of your legs. Again, engage the front of your legs. Try to engage JUN-15-2020, knee lock. Drawing the kneecaps up towards the front of the hips as you extend the crown of your head downward towards the earth. Maybe elbows start to bend out to either side of the room. Fingertips on the floor or on blocks. Fold deeply into yourself. And then as you inhale, palms to shin, shoulder blades on the back, chin and chest forward. Exhale, fold in. Today, take your arms out, up, and overhead as you rise to stand. Look up as your palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your side. Stand in your mountain pose. Embody your mountain. We've been here before. What kind of energy does this shape bring about when you come here? Intentionally rooting into the earth, growing out of the earth, growing tall, growing strong. Inhale as you sweep your arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, sweep your arms out, down, fold forward, release the head as the fingertips touch down. Inhale, palms to shin, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, rise, sweep the arms overhead, look up, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center and arms to your sides. Again, with your own breath. Arms up, fold forward, lift halfway, fold again. Rise up. Hands through heart center, Tadasana. One more time. Meet back in Tadasana, and we are going to do our awkward chair flow today. So this is the new awkward chair flow, where we're pushing through awkward to get to fierce. So this may require a block. If you have a block and have not done this with a block before, it might be worth trying a new way. So that's what I am going to do today. So if you have a block and would like to explore this with a block, the block's going to be placed at its lowest setting between the thighs. Otherwise, bring the base of the big toes to touch, the inner knees to touch. Lift and spread the toes, place the toes back down. Stand in Tadasana. Feel the block between your thighs. Squeeze the block. Lengthen the tailbone down, lift the front of the hip points up. Hands at your sides, palms turned forward, Tadasana. Now take your arms forward, palms turn towards one another. Lengthen your arms and then plug your arms into your shoulder sockets. Sweep the arms slowly overhead, reaching the fingertips towards the ceiling. And then try to draw the biceps slightly back behind the ears without jutting the low ribs forward. Look forward, keep reaching up, squeeze the block or knees and ankles together, and then exhale, start to sink weight into your heels as you sit your hips back and down. Tailbone tucks towards the floor, heart and gaze curl skyward, and then inhale to stand up. Grow tall, exhale, sink the hips down, weight in the heels, squeeze the block, gaze up, arms back. Inhale, stand up. Exhale as you start to go down. Inhale to stand up. 2 more. Exhale, hips go back. Look up, reach up. Inhale, stand up. Last one. Exhale, go down. Waistline back. We're going to hold. Tuck the tailbone. Squeeze the block. Ankles or knees. Look up, reach up for 5. Soften the face. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Exhale, release the arms down. And place the block off to the side if you had it. Okay, stand on your right foot, arms relaxed at your sides, and then start to swing your left leg forward and back. Swing with reckless abandon. So this will likely be a challenge to your balance. Take the challenge, fall over a couple times, get back up. Keep swinging. And then right leg forward. Pull back through the toes, reach to the heel, JUN-15-2020. Hands to hips or arms at your sides. Push down through the standing leg. Lift into the standing kneecap. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw the knee into the chest, and then sweep the left leg back. Bring the left leg parallel to the floor. Bring the torso parallel to the floor. Press through your right leg, lift into your right kneecap. Toes and chest pointing forward. You can take your hands to the hips, making sure that the hips are an even height. Left outer hip wrapping down, right inner thigh lifted. Or arms out. Arms forward. Look forward, reach forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. If you have a block handy, you might place a block underneath your right hand. Push down through your right foot, lift into your right kneecap, and then start to lift your left hip on top of your right hip. Explore that space. Push down through the right foot, lift into the right kneecap. Sweep the left arm up. Root down through the inseam of the right foot. Lift through the left leg. Possibly gaze goes up to test your stability here. So this is another cueing that I'm questioning in my personal practice and in my teaching. So does it feel interest to lift the left hip on top of the right hip? If the answer is yes in your body, or if that answer is yes to any of the cueing, that any of the cueing feels interest, then your body is something to be listened to. So listen to your body above my cues if you are feeling pain in any of these shapes. Okay, so from what is this half moon pose, we're going to bring the hips back down to square, hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling, draw back through the sides of the waistline, and arms to your sides. Let's swing again. Whew. Long sequence here on the right leg. Swing, swing, swing. The swinging got harder this second round. Okay, and put the left leg down. Okay, so now we know we might want that block at the top of the mat, so place that block there. Hands relax at your sides, ground through the left foot. Engage that leg, create that connection, and then right leg swings forward and back. Swing with reckless abandon, unless that feels very dangerous. Reckless abandon, that shouldn't feel dangerous. Unless you're, practicing yoga in a china shop. That's, referencing the bowl in the china shop thing. Okay, keep swinging, a few more swings. Okay, right leg forward. Pull back through the toes, JUN-15-2020, right outer hip down. Ground through the left leg, lift into the left kneecap. Hands to the hips or arms at your sides for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Swing the right leg back. Upper body forward. Pull up left leg. Wrap the right outer hip down. You can take the hands to the hips. See if they're an even height. Lift through the back inner thigh. Chest forward. Tailbone and leg back. Arms back, arms out, arms forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand to the floor to a block. Press down through the left foot, lift into the left kneecap. Start to lift your right hip on top of your left hip. Lift into the right thigh. Sweep the right arm up. Lift into the left kneecap. Push back through the right foot. Maybe look up. Press your right hand into an invisible wall and revolve your left ribs forward. Lift that left kneecap. Engage that right kneecap. Janu Bandha for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down. Square the hips down, hands back to the hip, rise up through the back of the waistline, and swing that right leg. Up. Getting hard to balance on this left leg now that we've been doing it for 2 minutes. Okay, right foot back down. Shake out those legs. Whew, whew. Okay, so let's do our goddess with eagle arms, then we'll do our wide-legged forward fold. Take your feet apart. Remember that the knees are going to bend in the direction that the toes are pointing. Weight in the heels. Throw on your superhero cape. Exhale, begin to sink your tailbone straight down. Adjust your feet accordingly. Extend through the inner thighs, contract through the outer hips, upper body back. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, listen. Exhale, left arm underneath the right. Palms together, elbows lift, forearms away from the face, upper body back. Weight in the heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, right arm underneath the left. Grab palms or shoulders. Exhale, melt the hips down. Upper body back, elbows lift, forearms away from the face, weight in the heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the feet together, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, arms like goalposts. Squeeze the feet in as you bend the knees out. Lengthen the tailbone down, upper body back, shoulder blades in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, reach the arms up. Exhale, release the arms down. Heel toe your feet back together. Okay. We'll save the invisible hula hoop till after the wide-legged forward fold. Okay. Have your blocks handy on the mat in front of you and or a blanket. Take your feet wide apart. Outer edges of the feet parallel to the short ends of the mat. Toes might turn in slightly. Tone the muscles of your legs up as though you're pulling tight stockings. Skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Lengthen down through the tailbone. Shoulder blades on the back. Tilt the chin up. Length along the front of the torso. And exhale to hinge at the hips. Bring that length parallel to the floor. Place your wrists below your shoulders. Kneecaps lifted, thigh bones back, chin and chest forward. Exhale and fold in. Hands back, kneecaps lift, thigh bones back, crown of the head reaches towards or to the floor. If not to the floor, then find a prop in the form of a blanket or block so that your head is pushing down into some surface. So I find that the pushing down into the surface is really helpful for creating more expansion along the backside of the body, more awareness along the backside of the body. So I often use cues that create this isometric movement, so that you're pulling in one direction to push in the opposite direction. So here we're pushing through the head to lift into the hips, to kind of pull the hips higher, if that makes sense. Lift into the kneecaps, so engage the front of the legs as you open up the back of the legs. Shoulders away from the ears, size the neck back, size the neck long. Take the time to feel what you're feeling. Notice what and where you're feeling. Send your awareness into those areas that are requesting some some attention. Start to bring your hands back below the shoulders. Hands to hips, elbows to the ceiling. Draw back through the sides of the waistline to come up. Heel toe the feet back to about a hip width distance. Shake out the legs. And we will find our invisible hula hoops. Pantomime practice. Putting your hula hoop on. Swinging it around. Bring some fluid motion to the hips. And grab your hula hoop, spin it around the other direction. Might be hard to figure out what the other direction even is without a monitor. I'm like looking at myself, knowing what direction is the other direction. Okay, my hula hoop dropped before I could pick it up, but now place your hula hoop down and we will commence our inversion practice. So, what's your inversion today? I'm going to continue on with the handstand practice because, like anything that you are building up to, it's helpful to have some continuous practice, some checking back in with it frequently to build strength, courage, stability, all of those things. Okay, so if handstand isn't your bag today, you can do your headstand practice. You can take legs up the wall, or, you know, I free you from the tyranny of this handstand practice, if that's how it feels. Okay, so measure the distance of your legs from the wall. Place your hands by your hips, and then swing back around so that your hands are where your hips just were, and you are lined up for a short downward facing dog position with your heels at the wall. Turn your hands out slightly, spread your fingers, ground through your knuckles, melt the back of your heart, shoulders away from the ears, lower ribs in and back. Stabilize the shoulders, lengthen the spine, and then lift the hips up and back into a short downward facing dog with your heels at the wall. Keep your gaze between your hands, round through the knuckles, and start to walk your feet up the wall. So I always demonstrate first what not to do. So plank at the wall, you're still building strength, but you're not getting that alignment of hips over shoulders, shoulders over wrists. So L at the wall means an L shape with the body. Hips over shoulders, shoulders over wrists, ground through the knuckles, lift into the inner thighs, lengthen through the heels, gaze between the hands. When your arms feel as though they are going to buckle from the weight bearing, simply walk your feet back down. Take a brief child's pose. So as I mentioned, every time I instruct this L at the wall shape, it is not easy. It is, in fact, I think for almost everybody who I've practiced with, harder than actually kicking up into handstand. But it has two benefits of it. It has an easy way out of it, and so that makes it less risky. And
it's really a great strength building pose so that when you do come up into handstand, you likely have more access to balance. Okay, so if you have done that and would like to keep trying that, stay there. Otherwise, we're going to turn around back to the wall and move into a downward facing dog, now facing the wall. Ground through the knuckles, look between the hands, shift the shoulders forward, lift the left leg straight up and back, shoulders shift over wrists, look between the hands, ground through the knuckles, lift through the left inner thigh, and then little kicks, turn into bigger kicks, perhaps kicking all the way to the wall. Maybe do 5 kicks. And then left foot down, right leg lifts, kick, bigger kick. If you've kicked all the way to the wall, squeeze the legs together, push down through your hands, reach through your fingertips, try balance. And one more option. Facing the wall, do as we attempt to just hop up as we hop forward into our transition from down dog to a forward fold, but possibly lifting the legs straight up into the handstand position. Root through the knuckles, look between the hands, look through the side of the waistline. Exhale. For me, that's the easiest one to get balance in because your legs are going up at the same time. Okay. Whenever you're done doing what you're doing, let's meet in a child's pose. Knees together, toes point back, hips to the heels, arms reach forward, head lowers down, forearms release, reconnect with breath, and arrive here. Let the efforts of your inversion practice reverberate in this moment. You've never been here before. Approach this moment with the beginner's mind. If you'd like, sweep the arms back. As the arm bones roll forward, weight of the arms released by your side. Slowly curl up through the spine, and we are going to do a few back bends, lying on our stomachs. So lie on your belly, arms at your sides, chin on the mat. Point your toes back, squeeze your legs together, engage JUN-15-2020 so that your kneecaps pull away from the floor. Lengthen through the tailbone, then scoop it forward, then draw the lower abdomen in and up. Arms straight out. Inhale, slowly peel, chin and chest, arms and legs up away from the floor. Take off. And just like an airplane, take off, lift higher over time. Lift through the sides, lift through the chest, reach through the fingertips, reach through the heart, reach through the toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Left cheek to the right cheek to the floor, rather. Arms at your sides, big toes touch, heels widen apart. Arrive in this moment. You've never been here before. Never been in this moment before. Release the head, relax the neck, release the arms, expand the upper body. Widen the heels, let the lower body just minimally expand.
Come back to the breath. Again, consider if the eyes are closed or open. And it changes. Chin to the floor. Reach your arms out, palms down, squeeze the legs, engage the legs so the kneecaps lift, lengthen the tailbone. Inhale, slowly begin to elevate. Using the strength of the back body, the contraction of the back muscles to lift and open the front body. Five, four, three, two, one. Lower down, this time left cheek. Heads the arm bones forward. Arms heavy, upper back broad. Head heavy. Big toes touch, heels widen apart, neutralizing the low spine. We're doing this together. That's what keeps me going. Chin on the floor, flex the feet, bend the knees, reach for the outsides of the ankles, tone the inner ankles and the inner knees so that they're hip width distance apart, keep the low back long, hug the shoulder blades on the back, collarbones broaden, kick and lift. Again, emphasis on the kick. Remember when we held our foot in that crossbow pose? So use the legs. Strengthen the pressure of the ankles into the hands and then lift the thighs. Let the arms be pulled taut, shoulders drawn onto the back. So again, emphasis on the legs here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower, right cheek to the floor, heads of the arm bones forward, big toes touch, heels widen apart, head heavy, neck soft, upper back broad, arms heavy. Back to the breath. Back to this new moment. Okay, last one. Chin on the floor. Bend the knees. We're either flex the feet as we just did and grab the ankles, or try pointing the toes and grabbing the outside edges of the feet instead. Okay, kick the feet into the hands. Before you lift the thighs, kick the feet into the hands. Then begin to lift the thighs. Kick and lift. Again, let the lower body power this one. It might mean that the pose does not have the expression that you are used to or that you expect. Kick, kick, kick. Engage the legs. Point the toes. Kick the feet. Lift the thighs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the thighs. Left cheek to the floor. Heads of the arm bones forward. Big toes touch. Heels wide apart. Head heavy. Neck soft. Arms heavy. Back broad. Arrive in this moment. This new moment. Opportunity for reflection, opportunity for discovery. Chin to the floor, tuck the toes, engage the legs, lengthen through the tailbone. Plant your wrists by your ribs, shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, push up into a plank position. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, hip shift up and back, downward facing dog. Arriving your dog, neutralizing the spine. Hands push down and forward, hip shift up and back, head heavy. You might walk your dog here. Okay, inhale to lift the left leg. Pull the heel in towards the hip, draw in Mula Bandha. Push the knee up and back. Release the right heel down, lift into the right kneecap. Even pressure of the hands down and forward. And then look to the top of your mat. Lunge your left shin forward. Setting up for a high pigeon pose. So we're going to make sure the left knee is wider than the left hip. Pull the right heel in. Point the right toes, walk the hands back, draw the right knee forward. Scissor the legs in. Hands come to fingertips, blocks, or hips. Scissor the legs. Draw the right knee forward, left knee back. And then point the right toes, bend the right knee, reach for the inside of the foot. Kick the foot into the hand. And then pull the heel towards the outer hip. Kick and pull. If you'd like to take mermaid here, you can take the right hand to her right foot to the right elbow, left arm reaches up, and then try to clasp the fingers. Keep scissoring the legs in. I didn't mention it, but very good idea to prop the hips on a blanket or a block here. Let's get out of there. And let's shift back to downward facing dog. Hands down and forward, hips up and back. Right leg lifts. Drawing Mula Bandha as you pull the heel towards the hips, stack the hips, or just reach the right knee back. Let the left heel descend as the left kneecap lifts, hands push down and forward, and then look to the top of your mat. Okay, set up for that high pigeon. So the right knee wider than the hip, the knee joint closed, so squeeze the thigh and calf together. Point the right toes, melt the hips down, possibly onto some padding. So if the right hip is down, the left hip is up, bring some padding underneath the right hip. Scissor the legs in. Hands to the floor, hands to the thigh, hands to blocks, or hands to the hips. Either choose to stay here or point the back toes. Bend the back knee, reach for the inside of the foot. Kick the foot into the hand. Actively kick, kick, kick. And then loosen up, release up a little bit to pull the heel towards the outer hip, but keep kicking. Either choose to stay here for this quad stretch. Didn't mention it, but back knee could be padded too. Okay, option for mermaid. Foot to the left elbow crease. Right arm up, reach. And then hands clasp. If that feels right, if it doesn't feel right, if it feels wrong, don't do it. Okay, release the foot. Find your way back. Downward facing dog. Walk it out. Head down and forward, hips up and back. And come down to your knees. Swing your legs forward. Feet out in front of you. Hands behind your thighs. Pull your hands into your thighs. Open up your chest, collarbones broad. Squeeze your legs together. Point your toes so that you're dipping your toes in some nice cool water. And then lift your shins parallel to the floor. Keep pressing your thighs into your hands. Collarbones broad, tailbone slightly tucked, lower ribs in and back. Choose to stay here or hands come out, palms face up. Choose to stay here or straighten the legs. I've always done this with toes pointed, but what about toes pull back, kneecaps lift? What about it? I like it. I'm digging it. New way, new perspective. Draw back through the sides of the waistline, lengthen through the tailbone, lengthen through the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen, listen. Lower the legs down, heels at a hover. Lower the chest back, collarbones broad. Pull back through the toes, reach through the heels, squeeze the legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift. Woo! 5, back to high boat. If you want, point the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet down, feet parallel, hip width distance apart. Reach up, look up, and exhale, lower the back body, articulate the back body towards the floor. 1 vertebra at a time. Lower down, head down. Look up, reach up, extend the legs. Heels to the floor, lengthen the tailbone. Squeeze the legs together. And why are arms reaching towards the ceiling? Let's either take the arms by the sides of the body, or for less support, for more strength, you can take your arms overhead, palms facing up. Squeeze the legs, lift the legs 90 degrees. Let's do that with an inhale. Exhale, lower the heels to a hover. Inhale, lift the legs, reach through the heels, pull back through the toes. Exhale, lower. Heels to a hover, squeeze the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, lower. All the way down to the ground. Arms at your sides, out like a T. Take your feet as wide as the mat, bend your knees, and start to windshield wiper your legs side to side. Exhale, knees to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the left. Continue with your breath, synchronizing breath and movement. And again, consider this cross synchronization. So you might inhale to release the knees down. Exhale to bring them to center. Inhale, knees down. Exhale to center. And part of my reasoning in that is that I think that we make the case for doing things a certain way, and there's this sense to like, inhale, gather the legs back together. Exhale, let the knees fall. But can you bring sense to doing things the opposite way? Can you synchronize the movement with the breath so it makes sense, doing it the exact opposite way? Might take some doing. But maybe it doesn't make sense, and then you're like, okay, well that kind of gives me reason to keep doing it as I was doing it. But yeah, again, that
my perspective, my intention for practice is to question it. Where are you rigid? Where are you flexible? Okay, once the knees have gone to the left again, just leave them there. If it feels okay for the knee and for the hips, for the low back, flex your left foot and take your left ankle to the outside of your right thigh. And then again, question, does that feel okay? Is there unnecessary strain or pain in the knees? I'll tell you, any pain in the knees is unnecessary, so avoid it. Right inner thigh down. If you'd like, take the right arm along the right ear, grab the right wrist, and you can just gently draw the right arm longer by pulling on the wrist. You might feel this length along the right side. Release the wrist if you have it, uncross the legs if you have it, re-square the hips. Release the knees to the right now. Adjust the hips as necessary for comfort and to avoid pain. Right foot flexed, right ankle to the outside of the left thigh, left inner thigh pulls downward. Release the weight of the legs. Left arm along the ear if there's room, if you like it, grab the wrist, draw the left side body long. Okay, uncross, re-square. Draw the left knee into the chest, interlace the fingers around the left shin. Push the shin into the interlaced fingers, and then draw the knee in and up towards the armpit. Okay, either choose to stay here or grab the foot, come into half happy baby. Interlacing the fingers around the sole of the left foot, pushing the foot into the hands, then pulling the knee down. Kick with the foot, again, emphasizing the, there's a lot of poses you can achieve the shape without disengagement. You can have this foot here and just be doing nothing, but actively engage the leg, push the foot into the hands as you pull the knee down. Choose to stay here, extend the right leg out in front of you. Heel down, calf down, thigh down. Again, if you try it and it doesn't feel appropriate, it feels injurious, then come back to the foot on the floor. Non-harming in our practice. That means non-harming you, non-harming yourself. Okay, right foot to the floor, and let's do the second side. Left foot down, right knee in, interlace the fingers, pull the knee in and up towards the armpit. You can choose to stay here, or take the foot, interlace the fingers, kick the foot into the hand. Again, emphasis on kicking, and then pull. Kick and pull. Choose to stay here, or left leg extends. Okay, release the right foot. Let's go into our full happy baby. Knees in and up towards the armpits. Take hold of opposite feet.
kick and pull, rocking side to side, massaging the back body. Feet together, interlace the fingers, widen the knees apart, flatten the low back against the floor, widen out through the inner thighs. Use the pressure of the feet into the hands to lift the heads of the arm bones up as you lengthen the spine along the earth. And now lastly, before our Savasana, bring your knees together, wrap your arms around the fronts of your legs, and embrace yourself. Find the words to tell yourself that you love you. It may feel awkward. Squeeze the legs in. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Draw chin to chest, forehead towards the knees. Squeeze in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let it go. Find your way to your version of Savasana, if that means legs up the wall for an additional inversion. Perhaps it means a reclined goddess, propping the upper body on a bolster, taking the knees out in a bound angle shape, possibly with blocks supported underneath the knees. Perhaps it means a bolster underneath the knees. Assess what your body might feel most comfortable with in this moment. And get those items of comfort. Get your blankie. And then take your time getting into this position. So hopefully you can allow yourself this time. Because for me, this has become somewhat, recently I feel like this has become the most useful tool in the yoga practice in my life. So can you transition into this supported, relaxed, passive, vulnerable state, this vulnerable position? And if that vulnerability of this lying on your back, eyes closed, front body open, doesn't feel safe, or doesn't feel, it doesn't feel safe, then perhaps a position folded over a bolster might be a better choice. I know that there have been points in my practice where I really didn't feel comfortable lying on my back like this. So if this doesn't feel like a position you can relax in, you can feel comfortable in, then a bolster is a good option. For lying over a bolster, folded over a bolster. Maybe even just a child's pose would be a more comfortable option on some occasions. So I'd like to remind you of the name of this pose, Savasana, or corpse pose. So you might imagine just whatever shape you have created for this time. Once your body is in that shape, just resting the body. So one image that just came to mind is like holding a sleeping child, like a child that is just in deep REM sleep, and picking up that body and then really just putting it down. Put down this body. consciously view the body at rest. And if that child wakes up, attempt to soothe that child, that body back to rest. Now as the body has been placed down to rest, recognize where the mind may have gone. Set down not only the burden of the body, the burden of the thoughts for this moment. Perhaps there is a power to that. There may be a power, a freedom that you may feel at the option of setting down that burden momentarily. Perhaps in this process there is even just a moment of peace, of calm in mind and body.
access to that and use that as a rest when the world seems overwhelming. Bring movement back to the fingers and toes. Start to move limbs. Feet to the floor, eventually roll to the left side. And push your way back up to a seat with closed eyes. So we are reborn again and again from our practice. Reborn with fresh eyes, recognizing our own strength and adaptability. Renewed strength, renewed hope for change that we would like to see in our lives and the world around us. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart. Join me in chanting the single sound of Om. Exhale and inhale for Om. Thank you for all of those who were present on the Zoom meeting this morning. It was great to see all of your faces, and thank you for everyone who has joined in this live stream practice or on the recording. I appreciate your presence. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. Thanks for staying with it. At least the little number I see on my screen indicates that you stayed with it. Yeah, please get in touch with any questions, comments, suggestions. Yeah, like if there's a cue that consistently feels injurious to your body, let me know. I'm interested. I might see those things more in the studio, but honestly, I feel that I've gotten some really, really good and more intimate feedback from these live stream classes. You know, sometimes more elaborate than when I was in a studio setting. So yeah, so your feedback is really helpful for me to provide the best teaching that I can. And yeah, again, please reach out. I will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and 5:30 Wednesday. And yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope to hear from you.